Hello people of Earth, I'm SKYLER'S, and we're back with another video. That's it. That's the video.
Your energy was very low.
Well, I don't want to miss April. I don't want to cause a scene.
Shit.
Hello people.
I didn't expect that to happen. It's nothing.
Why did it place on top? A cheesecake was on top of his foot.
Oh, jeez.
It's not the experience I was looking for.
That pissed me off. Hello people of Earth, I'm SKYLER'S, and we're back with another video. So, I was thinking, because it's getting closer to Halloween every day now, which is how days work, I wanted to do a scary
Spooooky. Story time.
So, anyway guys, I wanted to I wanted to tell a scary story that happened to me one time. And yeah, it was very real, very not fun, and I never want to experience it again, and if I do, I will kill myself. So, it was the year 2017, it was the summer. Me and Hannah, who is dead on the couch right now, okay, full bed, no couches in this room. Basically, we had just got back from church camp. My little ass was full-on Christian. She wasn't cussing, she was reading the Bible every night. What happened? So she was very strong in her faith. So basically, right after we got back, I was like, okay, I don't know whose idea it was, but me and Madison, who we don't speak to anymore, and Hannah decided we were gonna go to a haunted. Oh, thank God they are called. Oh my God, pour it in my asshole and call me ice. So we decided to go to a haunted hospital. A haunted hospital. It was a real hospital. We drive down, what was it? Franklin? We went to Franklin, Tennessee, and it was fun for a little while. There's 3 stories. We went in, we were going up the stairs. It was the most haunted, the third row, not the third row, the 3rd floor. So we went there, we went from the 3rd floor down, and there was some creepiness to it, obviously. This was pitch black dark, by the way, so we cannot see anything, and I mean anything, okay? Everything was fine. It was, again, like I said, very dark, very scary. We got out there as fast as we can. However, my dumbass, okay, my little Christian dumbass thought I was real brave over here, wanted to go where they used to burn the bodies, because this was built like in the 1800s, where if you died, they didn't know if you like could still spread diseases, so they would
Burn you.
So I decided to go into that little hellhole, and I went there, and I heard like a very loud scream, like, you know, like very, very scary. And I when I heard that, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I had my little camera, because I was gonna post it, because at the time, this is when I had my old YouTube channel, which we don't talk about. I was like shaking and running, and and Hannah and Madison were already in the car, and I go to open the door, and when I opened the door, I felt someone like grab my hand, and I started freaking the hell out. I got in the car, I slammed the door, and I said,
"Guys, there is something on my hand."
And while we were in the car sitting, no one opened the door, no one moved. The car alarm started going off while we were in the car. And at that point, everyone was just like, okay, this is weird, this is creepy, let's get the fuck out, okay? So we drive away, we're like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. This whole time, by the way, while we're driving back home, the bitch was like, whatever was on my arm was on my arm. Also, warning and side note, I'm gonna make a lot of jokes in this, not this film. I'm gonna make a lot of jokes in this video, but I just wanna preface that this was probably the scariest moment in my entire life, and I'm not exaggerating. It was creepy, it was scary, it was unworldly, it was just, there was a lot of things going on in my mind at the time. So like I said, I was being grabbed, the car alarm just went off, we were driving off, and I remember like closing my eyes, and Hannah, I was having an actual panic attack, full on blown panic attack, okay? So she moved into the back seat with me, and I opened my eyes for just a split second to like see her, and I remember seeing someone putting a noose around her neck. I could just see something next to her, and I started screaming, and I mean screaming. And I was like, Hannah, there is something behind you. And Hannah was like, oh my God, what? I don't know what's going on. I closed my eyes, and I envisioned, like, all my friends and family dying, like, full on dying. And so, like, that really got me going. It was a very, like, a double-edged sword moment. Like, I would close my eyes, and I would see my friends dying. And so, of course, I didn't want to keep my eyes closed, but when I would open them, every single, like, reflection in the car, I could see a demonic presence, or, like, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, like, it was very, like, okay, I have to choose, like, what I want to be scared of right now, because that's basically where I was at the moment. Oh my God, I also forgot to mention, right when we got in the car, before the car alarm went off, my Christian bracelet, which was a full leather...
No, that wasn't when you're saying it was.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. That's when we got down the road and we had to park in that gas station.
It flew off then.
Yes, it did.
Hannah, I think I remember when I was getting haunted.
It didn't fly off then.
I think it did.
No, it didn't.
Whatever. A damn bracelet flew off without me touching it. I don't care if it happened in the beginning, end, or middle. Anyway. Wherever it happened in the story, I had a Christian bracelet, leather, metal, cross bracelet that should not be torn in half and flown off across the car, but it did. And I think at that moment, that's when Hannah and Madison were like, oh, all right, so this is happening. Worst decision we've ever made, at least me. I do not go back there. And let me tell you, actually, let's go forward a little bit in the story time. A couple days ago, Hannah's dumb fucking ass asked me if we wanted to go back to the damn hospital. I don't know what the fuck is going through her mind, but if she wants to go and get her pussy torn out, then she can, because I'm not going again. So that was, I just wanted to talk about how stupid Hannah is. So go follow her social media in the link.
What about mine?
I didn't mention you, Jake, but I can put you can put yourself in there. You're already in there. I just said that. I word for word said you could put yourself in there. Well, I'll put myself in there. That's the same thing when I said, well, Jake, you had a heat stroke. Well, you're in the fucking hospital. That's another story time. That's towards Christmas because we're family. So my Christian self, my first thing that I thought of was like, okay, I gotta call my pastor. Shout out to Pastor Bob, by the way. Oh, so I called my pastor. He shouted out a couple Bible verses at me like they usually do. And it helped for a little bit. I got off the phone and I was like, thank you, Bob, so much. You helped me a lot. So whatever. So I was so exhausted from literally seeing all my friends dying, and I just was like laying back and I was like, okay, thank God it's over. We continued driving. All of a fucking sudden, the demon was like, let's hit him, this faggot, harder than we did before. And then even with like my eyes open, I could see flashes of like all of my friends dying, you know. That's when I like full on panic attack, full on crying, full on actual screaming and saying like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And then what really drove me to the edge was seeing my grandma dying. Like, if y'all don't know, I'm really close to her, so that really like got me. So I was like, we have got to go to my grandma's house. So this is where things get a little interesting. I get to the house. The whole time it's on my arm, by the way. Like, it literally was just like, like, if you're watching the video right now, hold your arm and squeeze it a little bit. That's how it felt. Just kind of like, you know, walking around, it felt like this. And we get to my grandma's house, and I, like, open the door, and the first thing I remember doing was just hugging my grandma, because I was like, okay, thank God. Of course, like, obviously I didn't think you were actually dead, but it's a good confirmation that you are here right now. It kind of had calmed down a little bit, but again, I could still feel its presence. I could, you know, sense the energy. It just was very uneasy. And I remember my grandma looking at me, and she made a comment. She said something about, like, come to me, like, leave my grandson alone. That was a mistake on her part, because now I think she's haunted. That's another story time. But one time at 2 o'clock in the morning, my grandma threw herself into the dresser mirror. I remember that for some reason the kitchen part is always so, like, vague, more vague than the actual haunting, or whatever you want to call it, the actual spookiness of it. The kitchen scene was very, like, confusing to me, because so much was going on. I felt like a couple presents, and then this is where, like, it kind of gets a little sad and, like, not funny anymore. But, like, I started seeing my dad. My dad had just passed away, like, literally a month before that. And I just remember, like, I don't know. It was just so crazy to me that I, like, saw all these people that had passed away, and I saw them in heaven. And then I won't talk about anybody's personal life and situations, but Something told me about something that happened to my grandma that I had no idea about. Something told me about my friend Madison and what her family was going through that I did not know about. And I just started spouting off these, like, things that I was being told. And it was very scary, very surreal, and just very... what the actual fuck is going on. And everything else in between all of that was just a big blur. The only thing I jump to now in my mind is I saw Jesus, yes, Jesus, in the motherfucking kitchen. And I probably should not say that in the same sentence, but you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. I saw him in the kitchen, and he basically told me that he, like, loved me and that he would care for me and that he did this, he let this happen to show me, so I don't know, very, very confusing. I was so in awe that I heard half of the words he was saying. Also, let me just tell you something real quick. We have been lied to. We have been told something that is not true. He do not look like what he looks like in all these little paintings and pictures and things like that. So I thought that was kind of funny and very interesting. But yeah, we've been lied to. White people have been lying to us from the jump. As a white person, I can say that too. And that's basically what happened. Eventually it calmed down, it died down. I don't even remember sleeping that night. I just was like, I don't even know how I moved on from that because it just was literally that crazy. I wanted to just kind of, post this video and just tell you what the hell's going on in my life because it was so scary. And I don't know. And I'm very interested to know if anybody has any experiences like that. Even if it's not as dramatic. I know Hannah's house is haunted as hell. But comment down below and tell me any stories that you guys experienced kind of like that. Even if it's a door opening or just whatever. I'm very interested to know. And then we can talk about it in the comments and just have a ghost discussion. So yeah, comment down below, like and subscribe, and hit that motherfucking notification bell. Hit that notification bell, please, so you can get notified every time I post a video, which is every Saturday. Shout out to my friends and editor and managers, Jake and Hannah McPeters. Let me know what you guys want to see, because y'all love to play with me and go on my Snapchat and swipe up on my stories and tell me an idea that I do not save. And then when I tell you to put it in the comments and no one bats an eye. So that's funny. I'm talking to you, Sierra. And Jackie.